Rasty McGibbon with assistant coach Jeff Boettger, Liberty University Men's Division I. Jeff, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
You guys are no stranger to the national tournament, the national championship. How is this one different from before for you?
It's an interesting question. I think what's different is the parity of the teams. I mean, everybody coming in here has a shot at, knocking somebody off that maybe you wouldn't anticipate that happening. And so I think that's probably the biggest difference. And I think the teams that are left currently, anybody can step forward and take it.
Some of the commentary that I've experienced, I think there was a little bit of reluctance or apprehension, with expanding to 24 because, they wanted that high level of hockey. But I think, kind of the proof's in the pudding in that you take Oswego, you also take Pitt. Mm-hmm. Who really had some pretty good runs at this national tournament.
Purdue.
Yeah, and I think what it's demonstrated is when you added those extra 4 teams, you really have expanded the playing field, but with the quality that you guys would want at this tournament.
Absolutely, yeah, and I don't get into the weeds too much on all that. I think that anytime you have, again, I think the parity is just growing, and the ACHA is benefiting from all the junior hockey across America, Canada that's been growing as well. And then you throw into that kind of the COVID impact, if you will, where teams maybe didn't have opportunities at college for them to play. They go back and play junior, maybe they switch programs or whatever it is, and it seems like there's been a lot more filtering to the ACHA, and it's becoming more known as a great option compared to like maybe lower level Division I college and or even Division III. So.
Your coaching staff is made up of 2 Ontario guys, a Quebecer and a guy from Alberta. How do you maintain the pipeline to Canada to get young Canadian guys down here and get them educated about the ACHA?
I would say a lot of that has to do just with our players and our connections, and we've honestly seen it ebb and flow. Like we've seen it go from 50% Canadians and 50% Americans to maybe more of a 75-25 Americans to Canadian. Yeah. And then it's starting to ebb back around a little bit now. And a lot of times it's the guys who come down and then they have friends and that they know and talk about the program, talk about what we have to offer and the environment, and it attracts that group. So between our connections, obviously, and then the players' connections, it's ongoing thing that kind of we benefit from.
Probably with the most notoriety is men's Division I, women's Division I at Liberty. But this year for the first time, all 5 Liberty teams are going to a national championship. 4 of them are coming here to St. Louis. As someone that's coached there for a period of time, how awesome is that? That I think speaks to the level of hockey at Liberty.
Yeah, it's super fun, and then it's super fun to see the coaches rewarded for their efforts, right? They just, several of the teams have been going, but to see Division III and to see Women's Division II team get that opportunity now is special. It's again great for the players, obviously, but again, as time goes on, you see kind of as our level increases, Division II increases, it's a smaller gap there. Same thing with Division III team from the men's side, and similar with the Division I and II women's side. So super excited for them.
You've are facing Adrian today. You have played 4 games against Adrian, mm-hmm. two at Liberty, 2 up at Adrian, and you split both places. It was kind of an interesting split. Do you feel as a coach it makes coming up with the game plan slightly easier because they're a familiar foe? There's a lot of teams here that I don't think that you guys would have encountered over the course of a year, but right. Adrian's one that you're pretty intimately familiar with.
I suppose it would be easier in that we have notes on them, they have notes on us. We've seen each other. We kind of know what their go-to is and how they play, and similar for them to us. But at the end of the day, it's about focusing on your team and what you need to execute in order to compete and, to push it right to that point of being able to win. So I think knowing what we have to do and executing that is the most important.
All right, very good. Well, Jeff, I want to wish you the best of luck today, and
Thank you,
familiar foe with Adrian, and thanks so much for your time.
Super excited.
This is Jeff Boettger, assistant coach, Liberty Men's Division I at the 2024 National Championship.